Conor McGregor. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is a genius at work. Period. When Conor is gone, you are going to feel it. You will know that MMA was more fun when he was here. And if you would study him, he will be able to leave MMA in a better position than he found it, but only if you study it. You got to see what's going on. This is a chess player. I maintained for you the night that he cut a promo on his ass, broken in half before he gets put on a stretcher and rushed into surgery, that was not Conor being a jerk. I maintained for you that was a performer performing till the final curtain. How can I prove it? Well, it's getting a little bit easier because the Master's at it again. Conor McGregor has 3 very big fights to come back to. Is that going to be Poirier? Is that going to be Nate Diaz? Is that going to be a world title fight against the winner of Gaethje Oliveira? Now, nobody can stop him from the first 2. Nobody's going to blink an eye if he gets booked against Poirier for the 100th time or Diaz for the 3rd time. There is going to be some pushback if he draws off of 2 losses and a break into a world title fight. We can get through that. We will be through that within 2 weeks. If that announcement was to break into Sports Center right now, there's going to be resistance. 2 weeks from now, it's going to be a distant memory. Or we could avoid it completely. Here's what the Master did. They asked him who he wanted to fight. Obviously, he's going to state one of those guys. And between the 3 of Poirier, Diaz, or championship match, he says Kamaru Usman. Why? Why did he say Kamaru Usman? If he can get a world title fight, what's the difference, by the way? If Conor McGregor gets to come back for a world title fight, just anywhere, just blindly, this is Conor, here you go. Every champion wants to do it. Conor's willing to do it. Send him off. Why not Usman? And Conor weighed in on that. He said that Usman was too old. He said that Usman's hands aren't good enough. He said Usman's ground and pound isn't vicious enough. And then he spoke about himself, which says nobody's captured 3 championships all by knockout, which I will do when I knock Usman out. Now, you think that's simple? You think you've seen it all? You haven't. Let's pull the curtain back and I'll tell you what Conor's really doing. Go back to the previous point that I just made, that if Conor was to come in for a world title fight against Oliveira and or Gaethje, coming off of 2 losses, a meaningful amount of time since he had a victory, I don't even know, not to mention a break, there's going to be a level of pushback. Now, how do you make that pushback go away? You test the waters and you get other world champions to sign off on it. Conor inadvertently got one a week ago named Volkanovski. Volkanovski came out and said Conor's name. So even said, I don't know if he can make 45, but I'll go up to 55. So now you have a champion that's calling out Conor McGregor. If one champion calls him out, it's good across the board. It's either a good call out or it's not. Does a champion have the right to call out McGregor? Because one just did. Now Conor's going to go up, and believe me, Team Usman will take the bait. You have no choice. Everybody wants to fight Conor McGregor. Red Panty Night is a real thing. The attention and the fun and the sold-out arena and all the acclaim that comes along with the circus that is Conor McGregor, it's real. Usman has no choice but to think, even on an outside chance, that Conor's serious and will do it. Usman will accept. Probably before these words are heard by your ears, Usman has already gone to social media and accepted. That is my prediction. It will take me roughly an hour to get this message out to you guys. I will bet you within the next 60 minutes, Conor McGregor gets an acceptance and in a back and forth with Usman. That's not the play. Conor will now have 2 world champions surrounding the thing that he really wants. He will have a champion bookending and co-signing the statement that he can, if he wishes, fight for a championship. Of course, the 55-pounder now gets it. Of course. Oliveira's already made it clear that he wants to fight. Gaethje's already made it clear that he wants to fight. Dana's already made it clear that he's not got a closed mind to booking the fight. That only leaves one person left. You. The pundits, the media. Everybody's a journalist now, thanks to Twitter. Everybody gets an opinion now, thanks to Instagram and Facebook. So Conor only has to win over one other piece, and that's only to get him through 2 weeks. You're going to have 2 weeks of pushback. I went through this. I moved up to light heavyweight, got a world title fight against Jon Jones right away, and I had people pushing back saying, hey, you got to test yourself in the division. That's okay. That was a real thing when people said that. I didn't begrudge them. I would have said the same thing. But 2 weeks later, it's a distant memory. Off to the races we go. It's going to be me and Jones. Conor could avoid that 2 weeks, and he's already started. It was brilliant. It was brilliant for so many reasons, particularly showing the courage, particularly putting everybody else within the division on hold, putting them all on note. There's not a 70-pounder out there that's going to say, Conor, you want to come to this division, you come see me. They don't think that way. They won't see it. They'll all go, well, he's a much bigger star than me if Conor comes up. I got people in my line of work. I got people that I work with at the desk holding the microphone with a little tie on, all worried about their job because someday Conor might make a call and say, I want to do that job now. Where's the competing? How about sharpening up your skills? But instead of eliminating the competition, we get better than the competition. But in all fairness, this is what's happening. Conor is not only going to get this call out and show the bravery against Kamaru Usman, he's going to get a response from the champ, guaranteed. Oh, and by the way, he will not get any pushback from the other guys in the locker room. Because truth be told, as tough as they all talk about him, when Conor walks into the locker room, they're still coming up trying to get an autograph and a selfie. Still talking about, oh, let me snap a picture. You're my grandma's favorite fighter, champ. It's one of these things. I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss anything that he does. I do feel that Conor gets miscategorized. I could go back to the night with Poirier. That was not a guy being a scumbag. That was a performer that no matter what was going to satisfy his obligation to the paying audience all the way till they fade to black and roll the credits. And you now have a chess player who's going to get a response from the second champion within 1 week, offering their services so that then he can come back to his weight class and have the match that he really wants.